Hello. Have you ever wondered what happens when you say, "Hey Siri," "Okay Google," or "Alexa"? Of course, they respond to us, but what happens with the words we say and who might be listening? Now, voice assistants are something we use on a daily basis for our everyday tasks because they're convenient and provide accurate information. But most of us do not know exactly how they work, what happens with any information collected, or is it really secure? My goal today is to inform you of how they work and any privacy concerns that arise. What exactly does it mean to use a voice assistant? My presentation will provide an overview of how they work, privacy concerns that could arise, data security, and the usage of that data. For my first point, I'd like to discuss how voice assistants work. Now, most voice assistants use what's called natural language processing. What this is its ability to be able to listen to our requests or questions, get that data, and turn it back into sentences that it gives us. There are complications with this because some people have accents, and that makes it difficult for the artificial intelligence behind this technology to be able to respond accurately. Another way they work is what's called cloud-based processing. What that is how it's connected to these data servers owned by these big tech companies, and that allows it to have access to these databases. So when we ask it a question, we can gain more accurate information. Another result of that would be the software updates they get. And this provides them to keep improving and improving with every update. Now, privacy is something we all value, and that's what I'd like to explore on my next point. Now that we learned how these voice assistants work, I'd like to talk about the privacy surrounding them and any concerns that might arise. Now, voice assistants, or most of them, have always on listening capabilities. They're constantly listening for their key word to be awakened. For example, with a "Hey Siri," "Hey Okay Google," "Hey Alexa." And once they gain these activation words, they begin recording any conversations or interactions, and they store this data. Now, sometimes they might record conversations without our knowledge or without our intent. For example, "Hey Seriously" sounds like "Hey Siri," doesn't it? So this would result in the device to begin recording. Now, some companies like Google have lists of every recording that they have stored, and you have access to it. And the same thing goes for Amazon's Alexa on their Echo products. But other companies like Apple, they don't necessarily have a list of recordings like those that I've said, but all these companies provide the option to delete any stored data. Now, with this stored data, how is it stored? How do we know that exactly it's secure? So now that I've spoken about privacy and concerns, I'd like to move and discuss data security and how this data is used. Now, data that is stored is vulnerable to any breaches or leaks. And this has happened many times in the past. There has been an instance in 2019 when Amazon has had a leak in their security. It had a breach. And what this resulted in was the leak of people's names, credit card information, social security numbers, and more information. Now, this doesn't directly tie with the voice assistant, but it shows us how vulnerable these data servers that have our information are able to be breached. Now, that data that is stored is obviously used, as I've stated before, to build upon and provide a more personalized experience for each user. But it's not transparent in its use most times. Sometimes it's unclear exactly where this information goes. Most times It's unclear if it's actually sold to a third party or who owns it after that. Otherwise, this information is also used to provide a more personalized experience, and it provides advertisements that are more targeted towards individuals' interests. Now that I've spoken about how these voice assistants work, the privacy concerns that might arise, and data security and its usage, I'd like to sum it all up by inviting you to reflect on any voice assistants you may use and how much you value, say, privacy, or how much you value the security of your data, and reflect on the convenience that these voice assistants provide. Now, as voice assistants continue to integrate into our lives and expand and grow with the growth of technology and artificial intelligence, we must ask ourselves, are we aware of what we are trading for convenience? It's important to understand how these devices work and the risks that they might pose. Understanding all of this is fundamental in making informed choices about the technology we have in our homes. So next time you look at your smartwatch, your phone, or any home device, think about the convenience and the power and all sorts of things and what you're trading for that. Thank you.